like I said, I know that, basically 90% of people are going to look at something and have a fairly neutral reaction. I know that 5% are going to have a pretty positive reaction. They might like it, whatever. Might get a positive comment, maybe. And then 5% are going to hate it or not like it, and a lot of them are going to comment. So it's a useful rule to know. Nonetheless, it doesn't mean that I escape the emotional reaction that you're going to have to a certain extent, no matter how much intellectual knowledge you have about something. Back to the fact that we're wired so intensely towards negative emotion. So back to the fun part here. Okay, so I got some top comments here that I wanna go through. I had a video on like the fact that we're social creatures and solitary confinement is, like, in my opinion, a form of torture and should be listed as cruel and unusual punishment, because we're so social as apes as we are. And this was a good one. One person commented, "Oh Jesus, please shut the F up," which is a really good point, and I've seriously considered that, and I think I'm going to change my ways and, really just not ever talk at all. I think that's probably the best solution here. I got another one that said, "No one needs you in their lives." That was also a really good point. I generally would agree that, me as a human being and my consciousness probably just shouldn't exist. I think that's probably good policy for life. So that seems reasonable to me. And I really take these to heart and really want to let these people know that I really appreciate their nuanced and well thought out arguments about my perspective. So I really appreciate that. I had another one. Okay, this is probably my favorite of all time. This one right here. So I had a clip on the fact that in order to have like a true connection with someone, you have to be vulnerable. I know it's shocking. And this person wrote that he thinks that I'm a Down syndrome kid that found a thesaurus, which, I don't know, my immediate reaction to it was like, really, you should have said dictionary, not thesaurus? Like, come on, man. Like, it's probably a better analogy to say dictionary than thesaurus, but thesaurus sounds more interesting, I think, so I think that's what he was going for. And, the first part about mental illness, like, I thought that was, like, cancelable now. Like, aren't you not supposed to make fun of people with mental illnesses? Like, I thought that was, like, a big no-no. So that was pretty impressive. I was like, man, that's kind of bold. So that was, I would say that's probably my favorite negative comment. If I had to rank order it, that's probably my favorite. So that was pretty good. Oh, here's another one. I did a quote on Brave New World about, well, I think the title was a quote. I'm reading a quote on Brave New World, and someone commented, how about you read the whole thing and not just a quote, Slim? And I thought that was a really good point, that I should probably just read the book in its entirety on air. I thought that was a really good point, so I appreciate that. Another comment here about a video about deep fakes. Turn up the music a little bit. I can still hear you. I was like, okay, interestingly enough, they were right. The music was too loud. So I thought that was a really good, one of the few somewhat constructive negative comments. I was like, all right, a little bit of constructiveness there. I'd say that those were my favorites. I have a most hilarious comment I've ever received. So this one is pretty good. I put out a clip about the fact that I think that life is meaningful, or it has to be in order for us to live and function in the world. I know, shocking. And this person wrote, "Meaning of my life is wiggling in the dirt and mud while biting people's ankles whenever they come over to ask if I'm okay." And that one, I think, wins for the most unique, hilarious, fascinating comment I've ever read, at least on my own material. So I'm going to end with that wiggling in the dirt comment, because I think that's a really good place to end.